This is Siouxland News at 5 on KMEG 14.
We're learning more about the shooting late last night at Sioux City's Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Thanks for joining us. I'm Diana Castillo.
And I'm Larry Wentz. The victim is out of the hospital and the shooter is in custody. 25-year-old Jarrett Schnee was arrested by Sioux City Police about 5 this morning at the check-in at Mercy Medical Center. After originally leading them on a chase into South Dakota, they lost Schnee near the Vermilion exit on I-29. Now he's charged with willful injury, going armed with intent, intimidation with a dangerous weapon, and aggravated domestic assault. He's being held in the Woodbury County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Now the shooting happened around 11 last night in the Hard Rock's employee parking lot. Hard Rock security guard Anthony Henderson was shot in the leg after he struggled with Schnee. Police think Schnee went to the Hard Rock looking for his fiancée, who's also the mother of his 2 children. They say they had an argument this past weekend and Schnee threw her to the ground, beat her, and choked her. The victim, Henderson, has been treated and released from the hospital.
Police also making a dramatic arrest this afternoon on the near north side. Sioux City Police and U.S. Marshals were making an arrest at this house in the 1400 block of Grandview Boulevard when the man they were after jumped through a first-floor window.
The U.S. Marshal Service, along with the Sioux City Police Department, located a wanted subject in this house behind us.
That man's been identified as Mario Chavez, who was wanted for violating his pretrial release on numerous charges. He was taken to the hospital after his arrest for treatment of minor injuries.
Now today, testimony in the books in the Isaiah Mothershed trial.
Our Nick Popham joins us live now from the Woodbury County Courthouse with a wrap-up. Nick?
Diana, Larry, the prosecution rested just as court ended today, and the last person to take the stand after hearing from DNA experts, Mothershed's friends, and police officers who were on the scene, we heard from Officer Ryan Moritz, the person who was shot on February 7th in the early hours inside apartment 13C. What we are learning is that people were originally called for the Lewis Fields, police rather were called for the Lewis Fields robbery that happened across the street in Building 19. And Officer Moritz, his job was to help transport the people from inside apartment 13C to squad cars to take them to the department. And that was when everything changed for him in the early hours of February 7th.
Officer Ryan Moritz says on the night of February 6th into the early hours of February 7th, Isaiah Mothershed was the last person taken out of Justin Ferguson's apartment.
He was taken down to the outside of the apartment complex, and that's when we found that we had no more transport cars.
After waiting some time outside for a car to take Mothershed to the police station, with it being winter still, Moritz and Mothershed went back inside the apartment to wait in the warmth.
I heard the radio traffic that Officer Laytrew had showed up, which I knew was his ride. So at that point, approached Mr. Mothershed while he sat on the couch and asked if he was ready to go.
It was at this time waiting when it all happened.
As I assisted him to his feet, I watched his hands, because I'm a big watching the hands person, and he turned to his left, and as I was looking down, there was a gun barrel that came around the backside of his body.
He saw the barrel of a gun and immediately pushed Mothershed to the couch. Sergeant Ron Heimgardner was guarding the door of apartment 13C, while only Moritz and Mothershed were left inside, and that's when he heard the shots fired.
I looked over at the couch. At that point, I saw Officer Moritz on top of the defendant, pulled him down. I went over to assist him.
Officer Jason Allen entered apartment 13C just after he heard the shots and saw Mothershed being held down by Heimgardner and noticed Moritz to the right of him.
He was standing holding his left leg, saying, "I've been shot."
Did you look at his left leg?
Yes.
What did you see?
I could see an entrance wound, a hole in the pants.
He then helped take Moritz to Mercy Medical Center and then checked his gun to see if any shots had been fired from it.
From your training and experience, had Officer Moritz's weapons been shot?
From what I could tell, it appeared to be clean.
Now, as I reported yesterday, Robert Seabury, who's a friend of Mothershed, refused to testify in front of the jury. So as a result, this morning, Judge Andreessen addressed the court and spoke with everyone, saying that they were going to be using a deposition from Seabury that was taken back in July. So a person took the stand in replacement of Seabury to read the transcript from that deposition. I will be here tomorrow morning as soon as the trial starts. I will continue to live tweet, so keep it locked on our Twitter page at Siouxland News to hear more about what's going on minute by minute inside the Isaiah Mothershed trial. Reporting outside the Woodbury County Courthouse, I'm Nick Popham, Siouxland News.
Thanks, Nick. The South Sioux City Police Department has an interesting lost and found item posted on its Facebook page. It's a baggie of meth. The department says there's not enough room in the evidence locker for the drugs, so they're asking the baggie's owner to come by the law enforcement center and claim it. The meth in question was found in the parking lot of the South Sioux City Walmart last month. If you have any information on who the meth belongs to, you can contact the South Sioux City Police Department.
And, certainly one of the stranger things I've seen in the lost and found posting.
Yes, well, definitely. And thankfully, it didn't take much effort to find the sun today, Chad. Are these nice conditions going to last much longer?
Probably not, because we have another cold front headed our way, and just like what we saw yesterday, the cold front's going to bring us the chance of rain, wind, and also some much cooler weather. But in the meantime, a beautiful day today. Take a look at our Skywatch camera from out at Yankton, brought to you by the Lewis and Clark Specialty Hospital, and the satellite and radar imagery showing high pressure and control, keeping our skies pretty much crystal clear. Now, you do see the cooler air off to our north and west. We've got Bismarck at 44. Rapid City at 61, but the cold air is knocking on the door. North Platte at 72, Lincoln also at 72 degrees. And as we take a look at our planner through the night tonight, we're going to see the cloud cover slowly increasing with temperatures settling into the 40s. We'll talk about the arrival of rain and when it gets here coming up in just a few minutes.
Even though we're still 34 days away from the election, thousands of Americans are already casting their ballots, and those thousands will soon turn into millions.
Lisa Fletcher goes beyond the podium from the swing state of Virginia tonight with the impact of early voting on the election.
Early voting began here in late September, and while some states have more robust early voter programs than others, it's widely believed that allowing people to vote early means more people will cast a ballot.
I'm very optimistic.
Melinda Rogers isn't waiting until November 8th to cast her vote for president.
I am going to vote as soon as I get my absentee ballot. It should be at my house tomorrow.
And while she's among the very early voters that are considered hardcore political junkies, those in the know say people like Melinda are the leading edge of a powerful wave.
In some of the critical battleground states, we're going to see over 2/3 of the votes cast prior to Election Day. Places like North Carolina, Florida, Colorado, Nevada, and Arizona.
Professor Michael McDonald studies politics and voter behavior.
There are going to be millions of people voting each day, and this will be the crunch time for the campaigns.
Pushing the candidates to try to capitalize on that momentum.
So ideally you get out and you vote, right? You get out early. Don't wait.
So let's get everybody you know to register and maybe start voting when early voting starts.
McDonald says there's been a steady uptick in early voting, and that impacts campaign strategy.
What's happened with early voting is that if a campaign really does have some just damaging information about their opponent, they can't hold it to the weekend before the election. They've got to put that information out earlier.
Making voters like Sandra Tessina confident that everything she needs to know is already on the table.
I wouldn't call myself a hardcore political junkie, but I know who I'm voting for. I know the issues that I care about. I know where the candidates stand on them. So I'm definitely prepared to vote tomorrow.
McDonald says in states like Arizona, up to 80% of general election ballots will be cast before November 8th. And then he says what you're going to see is things typically lean Republican initially, and then about 2 weeks out from Election Day, the weight shifts towards the Democrats. But whatever side you're on, he says, don't listen to the spin doctors. Early voting returns are notoriously unstable as a single predictor. In Alexandria, Virginia, I'm Lisa Fletcher.
Now, the candidates can't be everywhere, so that's why they send surrogates to deliver their message.
And a very important surrogate for Hillary Clinton is in Sioux City this afternoon. Her daughter, Chelsea. Yatzka Warren joins us live now from the Orpheum Theater with more on her visit. Yatzka?
Diana, Larry, that's right. The former First Lady's very own daughter, Chelsea Clinton, was here speaking to several dozen supporters at the Orpheum Theater. And this afternoon, she outlined some important issues. And during the Q&A session with supporters, the younger Clinton outlined the importance of this election, saying it's so personal for her, having been raised in the White House. And Chelsea focused on education and how states across the country need to stop cutting funds in public universities. She advocated how the College Impact Plan will make it more affordable for people to pursue higher education and that the federal government shouldn't profit from student loans.
As someone who gave me unconditional love and support, and also someone who's always been a role model for me because of the work that she was doing on behalf of all our families and all our kids. So I would just kind of urge the people that you're talking to look at the record of her life, kind of come to understand that.
Chelsea emphasized how her mother has what it takes to fight for early childhood education, investments in our public school systems, and she later ended by encouraging supporters to lock in their votes for her mother, Hillary Clinton, on Election Day, November 8th. Reporting live at the Sioux City Orpheum Theater, I'm Yetska Wauran. Diana, Larry, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jessica. Chelsea Clinton, not the only person in Iowa campaigning for Hillary Clinton today. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, Clinton's former primary rival, made a stop in Des Moines. Speaking at Drake University, Sanders said voters should go beyond analyzing Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's personalities and really look at their policies. We'll have more from Bernie's visit tonight on Siouxland News at 10 right here on KMEG 14.
An East High graduate who now represents Eastern Iowa in Congress made a visit to Sioux City today. Congressman Dave Loebsack was in town to tour Jackson Recovery Center's Child and Adolescent Recovery Center. He says mental health treatment programs like Jackson are very important. And Congress is working to address mental health issues.
Passed a big mental health reform bill in the U.S. House not that long ago. It didn't get through the Senate yet, let alone to the president's desk. But we just have to make sure that those substance abuse programs remain there and that the funding remains there to help folks who are in these kinds of recovery programs.
Yeah, good move.
Loebsack has represented Iowa's 2nd district since 2007 and is running for re-election to that seat.
Well, still to come tonight on Siouxland News at 5 o'clock.
We'll share the details on the journey of this moose currently wandering around in northeast Nebraska, coming up after the break. Every year, students at Morningside College take a day off from classes to volunteer in the Siouxland community. Today, more than 850 students took part in the 10th annual Into the Streets. Students helped with painting, gardening, and other various activities, all with one goal in mind: to help others in their community.
But it's important for us individually because, we're all community driven. Morningside is a very community based school, so giving back to where most of the students come from really, just makes us happy.
Mary J. Tralia Community House and the Crinton Center were just two of the organizations where Morningside students stopped for Into the Streets.
The Healthiest State Initiative teamed up with Sioux Citians today for the annual Walk in Sioux City. Now, about 50 walkers gathered to participate in a 2-mile walk starting at the Tyson Event Center and continuing around the Perry Creek Trail. The goal of that event is to motivate local people to walk 30 minutes every day in an effort to keep Iowa as one of the healthiest states in the nation.
I think it's nice to be able to get the citizens and residents, co-workers, friends and family together. It's a great day outside. Anytime that we can get out and walk together, it really increases the chance that individuals be more consistent with getting their daily physical activity in.
Delta Dental of Iowa and Hy-Vee sponsored today's event.
The Sioux City International Film Festival Board is gearing up for their 13th annual festival next year. Board members announced the 5-day event today, which will take place at the Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center starting February 19th through the 25th of next year. Opening night will be held at the Orpheum Theater. The festival will feature a dozen of films from various genres, including short movies, documentaries, and even workshops for festival goers.
You are now in the new host hotel, the Stony Creek. We will be holding 3 of our days here at the hotel. In the galleries, we will be showing films during the day so that folks who don't like to come out at night in the winter can come during the day and see some of these wonderful short films. And for a very, very low entry
Movie fans are all invited to the event kicking off Sunday, February 19th, where there will be an afternoon of family-friendly silent movies accompanied by a pipe organist.
The Iowa State Police Association hosted its 84th annual conference today in Sioux City. About 130 police officers and delegates from across the state gathered for that event at the Stony Creek Inn as well. The association started in 1932 and has since benefited members statewide. Now, the purpose of the event is to build connections with police departments in Siouxland and across the state.
And obviously, when we have a state association, we like to have representatives from all over the state. So our board members consist of Sioux City, Waterloo, Fort Dodge, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Cedar Rapids.
For more information on the Iowa State Police Association, we will have a link in this story to their website on our website at SiouxlandNews.com.
Drivers in northeast Nebraska have a new animal to be on the lookout for. Nebraska Game and Parks officials say the moose has been spotted throughout the northeast part of the state over the past few weeks. These photos from Melissa Ron come from the northwest side of Allen, Nebraska. Game wardens are urging people to keep a safe distance from the moose and not approach it. They say they will continue to monitor the animal's progress through Nebraska.
Well, taking a look at our headlines for tonight, of course, a beautiful day today, but maybe not so much on Thursday. Looks like rainy and cool will be in the forecast. A sun-filled weekend, so that's good news, and temperatures back into the 70s. As a matter of fact, take a look at what tomorrow afternoon looks like. Rainy and cool, and about 3 o'clock, we've got plenty of rain to go around. We'll talk more about your forecast in detail coming up after the break.
Your first look with Siouxland's chief meteorologist, Chad Sandwell.
Overall, pretty nice day compared to yesterday's rainy forecast.
Yeah, we had some rain last night, some fog this morning, then the sunshine came out and made everything so much better. Temperatures today working their way into the upper 60s to around 70 degrees for most of us. A look at our Skywatch camera from Kingsley, brought to you by Clark's Hardware and the city of Kingsley. You can see a few clouds off in the distance, but other than that, it has been a very spectacular Wednesday afternoon. Right now 69 degrees in Sioux City. We do have mostly sunny skies, and that will be a trend that continues at least for the next few hours. It'll be during the overnight hours, and I mean by overnight just before sunrise when we start to see some cloud cover returning. 66 at Lamar's and in Sheldon right now. Wayne and Yankton at 68 with Norfolk checking in at 69. The wind speeds not nearly a problem as they have been the last couple of days. Very light winds, and they're generally variable. We've got some southeasterly winds. We've got some southwesterly winds. Overall, south winds ahead of a cold front that'll be moving through during the day on Thursday. So you take a look at the satellite and radar imagery, not much in the way of cloud cover, so high pressure basically right on top of us. It's going to basically be kind of fizzling out as a system moves in during the early morning hours on Thursday. So we got the cold front sitting off to the north, pretty weak at this point, but it is going to be starting to work its way through by early tomorrow morning. By 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll see some of that cloud cover starting to pick up, and notice all of the rain out west, just to the north of an area of low pressure down to the south. That is going to be working its way northward throughout the day, and by about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, this is what it looks like across the area. Southeastern South Dakota, northeast Nebraska, and northwest Iowa all expecting to see some moderate to heavy rainfall, but the system is going to work its way out of here pretty quick. So by the time we go from Thursday night into Friday morning, high pressure will be in control. We'll see perhaps the coolest morning of the next several days on Friday, but the sunshine will help to warm us up a little bit. Highs expected to be in the lower 60s after morning lows in the 30s, and it looks like we'll be into the low 30s, maybe even the middle 30s again for Saturday morning, but temperatures slowly getting a little bit warmer over the weekend. rainfall accumulation through the night tonight and tomorrow. We're looking at maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch across most of the area as that system is going to move through fairly quickly, maybe as close to 1 inch around Denison. And then temperature-wise tonight, we're going to start out with temperatures in the 40s tomorrow, only working their way into the lower and middle 60s as that front moves through. So your forecast for tonight calls for an overnight low down to around 46 degrees, or 45 rather, with increasing clouds. Certainly a chilly evening with light and variable winds. Tomorrow we top it out at 66 under mostly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers. And then over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look nearly picture perfect.
All right, we'll take it. Thanks, Jen.
The Muskies Coaches Show returns today.
Now, fresh off their big win over Fargo Saturday night, head coach Jay Verity talks about a player who scored 2 goals that evening and was named the top NHL prospect as well. Chris and the coach are next with the Muskies Coaches Show.
Welcome back to the Muskies Coaches Show. Coach, how are you?
Great, you?
I'm doing good. I know you are, coming off the big victory over the weekend over Fargo. Saturday night, you had a couple goals from Ellie Tolvanen, really set the pace, and a 5-2 victory, huh?
Ellie was good that night. He had 2 outstanding goals that helped us get 2 points.
Well, he, along with Matt Hellickson, were also named to the Central Scouting list of players who are kind of on a watch list to be drafted by the NHL. Tolvanen getting an A grade, which means that they expect him to go in the first round. Matt Hellickson with a 4th to 6th round grade. Awesome. How far can they go in their career?
Well, that's up to them right now. This is just a preliminary list that comes out from NHL Central Scouting. It's a group of people who go around, rank the prospects, and then what will happen is each NHL club will be here to watch those guys play throughout the course of the season.
4 players in the USHL as a whole were given A grades. 2 on the Tri-City Storm. That's a topic for another day. Wow, they defending Clark Cup champs right there. But, it seems like the USHL is really attracting more NHL talent. What is so attractive to prospective players to come and play in the USHL and eventually go on to bigger things?
Well, I think it's draft history. You look over the last couple of years, more and more players are getting drafted out of the USHL. Therefore, we're able to attract more talent to these teams.
First of all, congratulations. Big news right after the show. We find out you didn't know yet, but you were named to the World Junior Select. You're going to be coaching the Team USA. You did it 2 years ago. In 2014, you were the gold medal coach, and you get to go back and do that again. You'll be gone for 4 games in December. How excited are you for that?
It's a great opportunity. For me, anytime USA Hockey calls and asks you to represent your country, I've always said yes.
Oh, that's exciting stuff. Well, he's not leaving, guys. Don't worry. Coach is not leaving. He's just going to be gone for a little bit of time in December. But that's what happens when you're good at what you do. You get pulled away to different things, I guess, huh?
It's just an opportunity again. Like I said, it's 4 games we'll miss here. The team's in good hands with Ethan Goldberg and Mark LaRose.
Well, good luck this week, Coach. And Larry, Diana, Chad, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thanks, Chris. That's a nice honor for Jay again.
Meanwhile, nice day today, but tomorrow, again, temperatures are going to...
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be another subject, but tonight, really nice. We're going to start to see those clouds slowly increase, 45 the overnight low, so it will be a bit chilly with light and variable winds. Then for the day on Thursday, we've got that cold front coming through early. That's going to increase our clouds, bring in some scattered showers through probably most of the afternoon, maybe even into the early evening. 66 the high, and then temperatures will likely fall late afternoon and evening. And then you take a look at that 7-day forecast. 30s for overnight lows Friday and Saturday. Highs in the 60s, so overall not too bad, but what would you expect? It's fall.
This is good.